Hello, and a rootin' tootin' welcome to the Jamie and Stephen show. Let's talk movies, music, and magic with Jamie and Stephen. This week we mosey on down to the Wild West. So hang up your Stetson, tie your horse, and cozy up as we tell you the tale of Disney movie Home on the Range.
Yeehaw! Well, howdy, cowboy.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Leave me to it.
Oh, Home on the Range. Oh my. So this
Yeah.
is the 45th classic.
Mm-hmm.
And it was released March 21st, 2004. So you would have been 14 or nearly 14.
Yes, I wouldn't have been too far. I mean, I can tell you now that I don't remember this at the time.
No, neither do I. I was in Spain as well. So I think it was a dodgy copy that we got hold of from those the looky men
Oh yeah.
on the beach. Yeah, I think it was a copy from them. And oh my God, I have never liked this film.
I think the first time that I knew this film existed is when we worked at the Disney store and it was mentioned. I think that's the first time I knew of its existence 4 years after it was released.
But this is one of the films where I couldn't even tell you like a character's name.
No, I only know them because I've literally just read my notes.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, of course I
Yeah.
know them now.
But yeah, no, I couldn't. I couldn't
No.
before.
And I always forget about this film.
I always use it as a bit of a mark because it's the last of the Disney animated classics in 2D for a while
Oh, I
until
know.
Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
So I always use this as the marker between 2D and 3D.
Yeah. Well, this should be a laugh for listeners because and probably they have forgotten it as well and don't remember it. So we're,
yeah,
it'll
we've
feel like a new film.
yes, a brand new film. Good luck.
Yeah. Right. IMDb synopsis. To save their farm, the resident animals go bounty hunting for a notorious outlaw.
Yeah. I don't think the plot is as complicated as that though. um I wrote mine as soon as I'd finished watching the film.
Okay.
However, I want you to think about it. I'm
Okay.
not being rude. I'm not being rude to anyone. 3 female cows think that they can bring down a criminal, but consistently need the help of men to succeed. Every part of that film, they're like, we're big, strong women.
Uh-huh.
Fine, nothing like not. But at every single part of that film, it is a man that kind of saves the day in that moment of time.
Yeah, the
And
assists. Yeah.
it really bugged me
Right.
because if you take out the 3 cows,
Uh-huh.
you've still got a movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
And it
definitely.
was bugging me that it
Uh-huh.
was like they had an opportunity to make a very strong female-led film,
Mm-hmm.
especially because there were still criticisms about Disney princesses and
Yeah.
obviously the Shrek films made criticisms on that, and they had the chance. Never mind.
Yeah. So
Next.
many things wrong with this film, but we'll get into it. Right. So it's a 5.4 stars, which I think is really generous. Really generous.
I think that one person voted.
The live action Snow White is more bearable to watch than this. And that's got not even 2 stars on IMDb, which is, terrible. Like it's not that bad. Whereas this film, it deserves that rating more than the Snow White live action. Thankfully, it's only an hour and 16 minutes, although I feel like it felt longer watching it. I kept checking how long I had left.
I think that's true of quite a lot of the films around this era. Because I did the exact same thing with Atlantis. I did the exact same thing with Fantasia 2000. I did the same thing with Dinosaur and Brother Bear. I was literally just waiting to see how much longer I had to sit through this. So, yeah.
I haven't said this in a while, but I just want to point out this with this one in particular. So it cost $110 million to make. It only made 145.3, and it's considered a flop with a capital F.
Yeah.
Directors. Will Finn and John Sanford directed this, and I mean I've only written down 3 each of their credits, but to be honest, like you wouldn't think they'd come from some of these based on this film. So Will was a writer on Hunchback. He was a writer on Secret of Nim, which is Don Bluth classic. And he was in the art department for Pocahontas.
I will say they're 3 films that I don't have a lot of affection for.
Oh, well, I do, especially Secret of Nim. John Sanford was a writer on Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
He was a writer on Mulan, and he worked in the art department for Megamind.
Okay. Again, Beauty and the Beast is yes, but the other 2.
Okay. Well, we not long watched Megamind. I think it was on Netflix. Don't think it's on it now. And yeah, that was funny. I forgot how funny that film was.
I've not seen it, to be honest.
Oh, I think you might like it.
It kind of came out when I was watching films, or watching animated films wasn't where my life was at.
No.
So
yeah, so they were also the directors Will and John are also credited as writers, along with Michael Labash, Sam J. Levine, Mark Kennedy, and Robert Lentz.
Well, it's funny you should say about Pocahontas being one of the ones that you like, because I can give you a bit of history with the production.
Yeah.
And it all starts at the same time as the pitch for Pocahontas.
Yeah.
So Mike Gabriel,
during a gong.
Yeah, in one of the gong shows, developed an idea based on Western legends, so Buffalo Bill and Pecos Bill, but also pitched an idea, called Pocahontas. He'd just come out of The Rescuers Down Under, so he's not riding high. And Pocahontas obviously won that. He also had pitched a story by Rudyard Kipling about the teenage son of a tycoon, which obviously didn't go anywhere. But when he kind of came up, he kind of said, "Look, I'll combine that with another story, a legend called Captain Courageous, and it's going to be set in the Western, and we're going to have, how it affects his family as a tycoon and everything." So Peter Schneider really liked that idea, and the project was given a green light, and it was called at this point Sweating Bullets. In 1998, Alan Menken was under a long-term contract with Disney to produce music with them and things, and he was then attached to Sweating Bullets around about 18 months after he finished work on Hercules. In 1999, Menken brought Glenn Slater, who had worked on the Little Mermaid Broadway show and School of Rock and Sister Act. Together, they wrote the songs for the film. The story has gone through 4 rewrites by this point.
Yeah.
So the original one was a son of a tycoon, was sent to the USA to mature. He is knocked off a train into a cattle drive after outlaws hold up the train. This was then replaced by a timid cowboy visits a ghost town. He confronts an undead rustler who is Slim. Slim and the Willies, yes, drove livestock over a cliff to increase their herds of ghost cattle. So the Scooby Doo idea was
Yeah.
then put to one side. And then we had storyline 3. A small bull called Bullets wanted to be one of the horses so he could lead the herd. So then storyline 4, which is 1999. So this is when Mencken is aboard. This is when he's got his composer to salvage the project. It is drastically reworked and by some of the people that you were mentioned. So basically, Gabrielle and Mike Gamio were removed from the project.
Mm-hmm.
Will Finn, who had created Road to El Dorado, produced Road to El Dorado, and John Stamford were then brought on. David Reynolds then left to go work on Finding Nemo, and Finn and Sanford decided that they were going to reduce the writing team. It was at that point that Alan Menken suggested a Pied Piper story with a hypnotizing yodel. And that is when the version of Home on the Range that we've seen started.
Okay.
So it went through all of these writers, all of these different things, and it was Alan Menken who was there from basically the beginning, who went, "Why don't you just do this instead?" So they did.
Yeah, I also wrote that along with the Pied Piper idea, Maggie was originally written as a deaf girl, but Eisner immediately hated the idea because he thought no parent will take their kids to see a movie where children are murdered. So then they were changed to cows.
Yeah, the amount of things that changed, even then, after that point, what they were changing to the story. Yeah.
It's no wonder it's so bad.
Yeah.
With all the rewriting that happened. I just don't know how they got from Sweating Bullets pitch in that gong room to the Home on the Range with 3 cows.
So the only thing that kind of links that first one up to the last one is outlaws holding up a train.
It's set in the West.
It's set in the West, and it's a cattle drive.
Yeah.
I actually like the idea of the undead rustler, though.
Yes, yeah, the ghost story.
Yeah, I think that could have been done. I think that could be done well now.
Yeah, because but you say that, but I'm going to get into it later when we get to our opinions. But no, I think the ghost story idea, because obviously cattle herders or cowboys around the campfire would have told ghost stories, to keep themselves, you keep each other entertained, etc. So that would have made, a bit sense.
And it would have given Disney a Halloween film.
Yeah. Or just some originality, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
With what's being released at the time. They needed something to make them stand out. And this was, anyway. Right. Cast?
Yep, so I left the cast because I know you like getting those bits, but I've got little snippets about each of the characters.
Okay. Well, let's start with Maggie. She is voiced by Roseanne Barr, and everyone knows her as Roseanne.
Yeah.
She's a comedian and who had her own TV show back in the 80s, 90s called Roseanne. She's done other things since then, but obviously that's what she's most famous for. They did attempt a reboot, but because of her political views, shall we say, she was killed off on her own show, given the boot by Disney. And it continued without her for, I think, another season or two, and then that was ultimately cancelled.
Okay. So when we talked about rewrites and things, it was actually very late into the production that Maggie was rewritten to be an outsider to the farm. So originally it was just going to be the three cows already as friends.
Oh, okay.
So the one bit of character work that actually works in this, it's an outsider with a different opinion to what's going on. They didn't originally have.
Right. Oh wow. Mrs. Calloway,
Yeah.
she's the cow with the hat.
Mhm.
And she's voiced by Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, she plays M in the current James Bond films. So the
Daniel Craig
Daniel
era.
Craig ones.
She's known as a Shakespearean
Yeah.
actress. So
And she's been in loads. Like she was in
oh,
Tea with Mussolini, which also had Cher. I think I've mentioned this film before because it's
yeah.
had somebody else, another actress. She's like a
Yeah.
British legend.
Yeah. With the character of Mrs. Calloway, originally in original outlines, so not the original, but the original fourth outline, she was the lead.
Okay.
So it wasn't, Maggie was just a side character.
Right.
So it may have felt a little bit like Hocus Pocus, where you've got the older witch being the lead.
Okay, yeah.
You've then got the two sisters kind of things playing
Yes.
those secondary characters and stuff.
Yeah.
She's the only cow in the film without horns.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
So she
which
would be a proper dairy cow then, wouldn't she?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
When she jumps on Rico, she makes the sound which was used by Tarzan.
Oh, okay. What the?
There is a
Oh, I
yeah.
never noticed that.
Although it hasn't been confirmed, but it's rumored that she is based on Mrs. Dalloway in a short story by Virginia Woolf, who has a lot of resemblance to this character.
Okay.
That's Mrs.
Why is she a
Calloway.
cow?
No, I just mean like resemblance in personality.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. Okay.
she's not a cow with a hat.
No. Right. Next is Grace, voiced by Jennifer Tilly, who is also the voice of Celia or Googly Bear in Monsters Inc.
Hmm.
She also does a voice in Family Guy, but I can't remember the character.
Yeah, she's Bonnie,
Right, okay, because she's with
Joe in the
one.
wheelchair.
Yes, in the wheelchair. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And she's always
there's an epi-
pregnant.
yeah, and there's an episode where she stopped talking like Jennifer Tilly,
Oh.
and it's like, so you can like, so you put that voice on. Obviously, a very distinctive voice.
Yeah, she does. She does. She's got a small role in that, but very funny role in Liar Liar, which is my favorite Jim Carrey films. And I recently discovered that she is a big time poker player,
Yeah.
and she was married to the Simpsons creator.
Oh,
And from that divorce, she earns $5 million a year.
wow.
I know.
Well, I know her most from the Chucky films.
Oh, yeah,
So she
Bride of
voices,
Chucky.
yeah, she voices Tiffany, and
Yes.
she plays a character called Jennifer Tilly.
Mm.
Sometimes she plays Tiffany in Jennifer Tilly,
Right.
and she can really take the mick out of herself,
Yeah, good.
and she just comes across as just a really lovely, genuine person.
Yeah, I've always liked her.
Like, yeah, she just seems lovely.
Yeah.
Um, Weirdly, the character of Grace can't sing, but Jennifer Tilly can. She's been,
Oh, okay.
yeah, she's been on stage with that voice.
Wow. Well,
Um,
she does a really good bad voice.
she's just really good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just,
she is.
I think because it's kind of her persona of the dumb blonde kind of thing, and
Yeah.
because the voice matches that,
Uh-huh.
I think she's in a box. It's a bit like Jennifer Coolidge. They're in a box,
Yes.
but actually, when they're given an opportunity to go out of that box,
Uh-huh.
they show how amazing they are.
Yeah, definitely.
So Grace, so originally, when they're hypnotized,
Uh-huh.
and all three of the cows were meant to be hypnotized, and it was John Stanford who was brought on as a producer director, who said, "Won't that cause an issue?
Yeah.
Because they're all hypnotized, they're all going to follow
Yeah.
him, and yet, so who's left to kind of
Yeah.
defeat them?" So that was changed. However, this wasn't brought up until they started doing the artwork for the character of Grace.
Oh my God.
So not the concept art, the line artwork. So when
Uh-huh.
they before ink and paint,
Yes.
like yeah. Next.
Right. Alameda Slim is
Hmm.
voiced by Randy Quaid. I love Randy Quaid. So he's the crazy dad that tries to tell everyone he was abducted in Independence Day. And he's also in Kingpin with Woody Harrelson. And if you didn't know by the name, he is Dennis Quaid's brother.
So he has Alameda Slim has the distinction of being in the original Sweating Bullets version of
Mm-hmm.
this film. However, one of the plans that this character was going to have was to use the cattle he'd stolen to storm Washington, D.C. and become the president.
Okay, that's
Not the film I
ridiculous.
want to see.
No,
I won't get political either.
no,
Maybe a
but
load of cows in Washington wouldn't be aware.
no, wouldn't
Would
be
be
a
on the
worse thing.
worst.
Yeah.
So yes, Alameda Slim.
And he does do the singing, he just doesn't do the yodeling. We've
Yeah,
had
yeah.
yodel singers, but yeah, he does sing his song. Buck, which is the sheriff's horse, but wants to be, a big star horse.
Mhm.
And he's voiced by Cuba Gooding Jr., who won the Oscar for his role in Jerry Maguire. And one of his recent roles, well, I say recent, like I think it's like 5 years old now, but brilliant in this. He plays O.J. Simpson in the miniseries about the O.J. Simpson trials, and yeah, he's brilliant in that.
So Book, there's absolutely no reason in the film given why Book and the cows don't hate each other. There's just no reason. They just don't like each other, and that's never explained, even though it's a point of the film that they can't get along.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I remember in the bit where we first see him, they tell Maggie that what, like they're like, oh, it's Buck, as if everyone should know, like, oh,
yeah,
like they just don't like him. I think it's obviously because he's basically full of himself. He thinks he's this big
yeah.
shot, and they don't like.
I mean that's the thing because it's never explained. It's a bit like
Yeah, they had to like
um,
throw it in there so that it's a
a bit of
reason.
drama.
Yeah, just yeah.
Maggie's nickname for Book, which is the Stallion of Moron, is a reference to DreamWorks' Spirit, the Stallion of Moron, released in 2002, which obviously DreamWorks. A lot of people on board with this were from The Road to El Dorado.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of an in joke there. And when he says "got milk," it's in reference to commercials in the USA.
Yeah.
Got milk.
Right, and the last character I wrote down just because of who the voice is, Wesley, or as Slim calls him, Weasley. And he is voiced by Steve Buscemi, who also starred in movies Con Air, Big Daddy, Wedding Singer, and was the voice of Randall in Monsters Inc. And this was a spur of the moment thing. The guy that designed the character Wesley designed him to look like Steve Buscemi. And I think through their circle, he got word and he was like, oh, wow, I don't mind doing the voice. But it was just pure, wasn't planned that way. And he loved that the character looked like him. So that's how it came about.
Well, you've stole my fact.
Oh, sorry.
Did Jennifer Tilly's character and Buscemi's character, did they ever seen together?
Don't think so.
Anyway.
No, because you see loading the cows and obviously the money at the train when it's still in the cave. And then when the train comes outside, I don't think do you mean Grace?
Yeah.
Yeah, Grace. Yeah, I don't think she interacts with them.
It's all right. I was just wondering whether they met like in Monsters Inc. and then did this, because the
Yeah, I
years
know.
would be quite similar. So
Yes, yeah.
not the same, but
yeah.
I've got a few other, but these are facts about characters, not about cast. So when Junior is pushed and falls down the mine shaft, that's the Goofy collar.
Yeah.
The Willy brothers, which are Phil, who's the red one, Gil, who is the green one, and Bill, the blue one. Weasley calls him Red, Phil, calls him Casey Jones after the driver in the Disney short, The Brave Engineer. Pearl was originally going to be male, then they changed it to a young female, and they had the idea that Sarah Jessica Parker could have voiced that character. Obviously, Sex in the City being quite a big thing at the time, or just finished kind of thing.
Yeah.
Lucky Jack was also in the Sweating Bullets draft. However, in this draft, it revealed that Alameda Slim cut off his leg.
Oh, the foot.
Lucky Rabbit.
Which is why he's got bad luck.
Yep. Rico, whose final line is the same as a final line in the film Little Caesar from 1931, and Rico is named after that character. We have Audrey the Hen, who is voiced by Estelle Harris.
Yeah, isn't that Mrs. Potato Head?
It's Mrs. Potato Head, yep. She's Mama Gunda in Tarzan 2, Peg in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, Chloe Cluck in Chicken Little, and she died 18 years to the day after the release of this film.
Oh.
When Audrey the Hen is attacking Slim, she states, "Now you want to get nuts? Come on, I can get nuts," which is from 1989's Batman.
Okay.
The film was originally meant for a 2003 release. So it was meant to be done a lot earlier. So when these voices were being done, it probably would have been around Monsters Inc. as well.
Yeah, it could have been.
And Toy Story 2 has Mrs. Potato Head.
Yeah, but that was 1999.
Yeah, so I don't know when they would have been recorded.
No, I don't think so.
But the reason they were swapped is because it was swapped with Brother Bear. Now, when I've searched this, a lot of things say that there was because there were story issues with Home on the Range.
Yeah.
However, when you look into it more, a lot of the Brother Bear marketing was done to coincide with the Platinum Edition release of The Lion King.
Okay.
So it was tied in a lot, those two films.
Right.
So that could be why that was brought forward rather than Home on the Range. But yeah.
Okay. Music.
Yes.
The music and the score are both written by Alan Menken, Disney legend. And the lyricist was Glenn Slater, who you mentioned, and they worked together on Tangled and the most recent Spellbound, which is Netflix's animated film, which I have not yet managed to watch. Holly has, she loves it.
Tangled soundtrack is really good though.
Yes, love Tangled soundtrack.
Yeah.
I do like the music in this. It's not his best, but I do like the songs. In particular, I love Little Patch of Heaven. Absolutely love that one. Right, so let's get on to the songs. So we've got You Ain't Home on the Range, which is in the beginning of the film, and then you see it later with a bit of a montage style clip.
Home on the Range.
Yeah, I know, it's really deep.
Yeah.
And that is performed by Timothy Robert Blarins and Gregory Javar Bara. Oh, I can't even read my writing. So sorry, Gregory, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Little Patch of Heaven, which I absolutely love, is sung by the amazing Katie Lang. You don't really hear much of her now.
No.
She was really big in the 90s. I think my dad had a couple of her albums. But yeah. Yodel Adel Idaloo.
Say that again.
Yodel Adel Idaloo. See? Yeah, Randy Quaid, which I mentioned earlier. We've got Will the Sun Ever Shine Again, which is during when the owner of Little Patch of Heaven is reminiscing,
Yeah.
And that is sung by country legend Bonnie Raitt. And then you've got two songs on the credits. You've got Wherever the Trail May Lead, which is Tim McGraw, another country legend. And then Anytime You Need a Friend, which is sung by the Bow Sisters. I think they were a young group at the time because I've never heard of them. Not his best work. No. I am very much into my country music at the minute. So, I'm like, I do like that, they stuck with the songs being country themed.
Yeah.
Not taking anything away from Alan Menken and Glenn Slater, but I feel as though they were wrong for this film because it's not a musical and it's not got that theme. And I think it would have been better if they'd actually brought in a country singer to actually do the music.
They could have got Shania in.
They could have.
Being that it's meant to be a female-led film.
The songs aren't bad, don't get me wrong. But if they were really going to do a Western style film, I think they should have gotten a country star to come in. At least maybe to work with Alan Menken, because he did do a good job. I'm not saying the songs aren't bad, but I feel like they should have, and there should have been more songs as well.
Yeah. Two little facts about the songs.
Probably I already have them, but go for it.
Okay. So Anytime You Need a Friend.
Yes.
Was featured on Disney Mania 2, and it's the only song from this film to feature on a compilation. Weirdly, the album Disney Mania 2 came out before the release of Home on the Range.
Right, okay. Weird.
And then my other fact is about Will the Sun Ever Shine Again, which I'm assuming is the one you have. So I'll let you have that one.
Bless you, Stephen. Yes, so Alan Menken composed this song following September 11th, and he said that a lot of people were trying to express how they felt, and he said he just went to the piano and it just came out, and then that's how the song was. I don't know if he intended to, if it was for this film, but because he was doing the music at the time and because of his contract with Disney, it was then obviously picked up, and they thought, right, well, why don't we put this in? Little Patch of Heaven was the first song to be written, and it was written back in 1999. So back when it was still titled Sweating Bullets, and I think back when it was still that ghost story.
Yeah, it would have been written on the back of the. No, it's when the small bull with bullets wanted to be one of the horses to lead the herd. That's where we were in 1999,
right,
before it changed.
And the villain song incorporates the William Tell Overture, Yankee Doodle, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, and the 1812 Overture. That was all I had for music.
Yeah,
and I did watch. Yeah, I watched a little making of, which was a bit pathetic, really. It was only 15 minutes, and they were around a campfire.
So, are we once again the best making of a Disney film?
We might be,
because we did it with the Black Cauldron. Are we doing it here too?
Maybe. Before we get on to our opinion, because obviously that's what people are dying to hear. Yeah. Yes, it's the last traditionally animated Disney feature film for 5 years. So until Princess and the Frog. It's the final feature film to use Disney caps. And yeah, the art director, Michael Giamo, was fired after the how poorly this film was received.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that everyone else that was responsible for this film was not employed by Disney, but just obviously contracted to do the job. Because for that person in particular to just be named as being fired when I was reading up about the film, the others must have just been contracted, whereas this Michael guy must have been actually employed, because he's the only name, which is weird, because if anything, everyone in this film should be fired. If they had all been employed by Disney, and even I think after this, obviously they don't work with Alan Menken until Tangled, so even he is gone. They must have not renewed his contract.
Weirdly, at the parks, there were Home on the Range things. So what's quite weird is this era of Disney didn't really get into the parks that often. One of the reasons why Bob Iger decided to buy Pixar and then went after Star Wars and Marvel was because you sat there, watched a parade, and they were all characters from 10, 15 years ago. And the only recent ones, were Pixar. So the fact that this got into the parks in a small way is quite unusual.
In what way?
Well, the Animal Kingdom in Florida, Jeb, the goat, was used on the signs for the goat petting area of affection section in Rafiki's Planet Watch. So he was on a sign. But in Disneyland, California, the Little Patch of Heaven was an overlay for the Big Thunder Ranch in Frontierland. So in Paris, when we look at that, and you've got kind of the frontier section, there was an overlay on a ranch. And it was done as the thing. That was between 2004 2005, so it did stay long.
Longer than it should have.
Yes. However, because of this, it saw the return of the petting zoo to the ranch, which had been removed for an outdoor theatre in June 1996. And it made way for Hunchback of Notre Dame's The Festival of Fools.
Okay.
So animals came back to the Disneyland in California.
Thanks to Home on the Range.
And thanks to Home on the Range. However, Alameda Slim's wanted poster remained.
Oh.
And the log cabin that's around there also received an overlay as Pearl's cottage. And Pearl, the old woman who runs the farm, was a meet and greet.
Oh my God.
Like, I want to see those photos. Have anyone out there, if you have met Pearl between 2004 and 2005 in California, I want to see those photos.
Yes. Really want to see this Pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go on to our thoughts, VHS and DVD came out in 2004, and the Blu-ray came out in 2012. Also in 2004, a video game came out called Disney's Home on the Range, and it was only for Game Boy Advance.
I can't believe they went to the effort to make a game.
Thing is, they were making games about all of their films at this point. Like,
But
even
what would
the
have the game story been?
absolutely no idea, but even like 101 Dalmatians 2, Patch's London Adventure, that got a game. Scooby-Doo had a film around this time called The Cyber Chase. That got a Game Boy game.
Oh.
So I think they were very big in using IP for games.
Mm. Okay, your thoughts, Stephen. The fun part.
So no, you go first. You go first
Okay.
on this one.
Right. So straight away I wrote, why?
Oh, no, that's it basically.
Yeah. Don't like any of the characters. Just didn't really find any of them likable. Grace is probably the one that I was like, okay, yeah, I wish there was a bit more with her. I didn't feel sorry for Pearl. I'm sorry, Pearl. But it's like, how did you end up in debt? Why is your father? Why are you needing money for the bank? Like, I wanted to know that story. And she just, I just felt like, well, you're really old, so you know, you're gonna die soon anyway. Yeah, I just didn't see. I just wasn't feeling sorry for her and the animals. Like it wasn't like even during the song, like I didn't feel like that they were a family. Like I didn't feel the
No,
love.
they were very disconnected.
Yeah, I liked the setting. Like I liked that it was in the West, the Wild West, and I liked the backgrounds, and
And
the
yet
artwork.
he was the one that got fired.
I know, but the animation was just so boring and wasn't exciting. Like none of the characters looked good. Like I didn't even think some of the animals were drawn like in a traditional Disney way either. They were it was just very flat. Just didn't like it. The designs of the characters. What else did I put? Yeah, the story. Oh my God. I mean, well, the fact that we now know how many versions there were, and
Some of them
like,
better.
oh, like we said earlier, round the campfire idea. No, not the campfire. Sorry, that was what I was saying. No, the ghost
Yeah,
story
but the ghost
idea.
story, yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of Disney's biggest problems during this time was that they weren't understanding where kids were.
Yeah.
And this old traditional idea that children of a certain age should be kept away from certain things, and that, you know, we don't want to scare them, we don't want to make them cry, it has to be happy and joyful and positive, is so backwards. And they just didn't get that kids in the early 2000s, you know, because of, like, for example, computer games, you know, they were making the computer games, but they weren't making the stories that kids at that time would have watched. And they were not going to watch a film about 3 cows trying to save a farm. Boring.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was a Western style story about, in a ghost story,
you
know, and it involves a kid, they would have watched that.
Yeah. It even involved the cows. Have talking cows with the kids. Like, have that. That's completely fine. And I think it would have done so much better.
Oh, and it would have attracted both boys and girls as well. Whereas,
and as I say, it'd be like a little Halloween thing, you know. It's because now, you know, and I suppose really at the time, because obviously home media, you could go out and you could go buy the Santa Claus, you could go and buy Nightmare Before Christmas, Muppets Christmas Carol, all of those films that kind of sits with Christmas, and people were doing that. Whereas this would have sat with Halloween, because one thing that, you know, we kind of lack is changed a bit now, but like Halloween films for the family.
Yeah.
So, you know, Hocus Pocus probably and Casper are probably right at the top for family kind of thing. And they could have done something like that, and Western, and just had fun with it.
Yeah, the villain was rubbish. I'm sorry. Yodeling villain, just nah.
No.
It was weak. Really, really weak. I did like how they did do the whole, you know, obviously halfway through production, realizing, oh, what are we going to do if all the cows are hypnotized?
Yeah.
Twats. But I did like the idea that Grace, who can't sing and she's like tone deaf, and she doesn't get hypnotized. I like that idea. Still didn't mean the story was good.
No.
You mentioned earlier as well about like how they did constantly end up receiving assistance and help by male characters, even though they were trying to be these 3 brave, independent women. And it's funny because during the making of, if you can call it that, they said that they were inspired by strong female characters that were in cinema at that time, including the Charlie's Angels film with Diaz.
I completely see the you know, the similarities there. You've got 3 female characters in that film and 3 female characters in this one.
Yeah, only resemblance.
Yeah.
And that one scene where Grace kicks the bell into Slim's mouth. That's it. That one kung fu kick.
Yeah, no.
No.
It was almost like, well, we've done all this work now, so just put it out. And
yeah, I feel
we can't remember merchandise or things for it.
No,
because I don't remember it even. I cannot even tell you if it was McDonald's toys.
I don't know, because I was in Spain at this time. I was a good year in living in Spain, and like I say, it was a pirate copy that we watched. And I remember very clearly not remembering this film. Like, I knew I'd watched it, but I don't know. And I knew that it had cows, and that was it. I didn't even remember that it was to do with hypnotizing cows and yodeling. Didn't remember any of that. And I never watched it again until I got a DVD, and I think it was your DVD.
Oh yeah, when I got rid of replaced.
Yeah, because I never got it on Blu-ray.
No.
It's your DVD. I put it on, and I remember thinking, "Oh my god, what is this? This is awful." And then obviously watching this for the podcast, so I have only watched it 3 times, and I honestly, this is one of those that I will not put on again.
No.
Yeah, very disappointing. It's a shame because, like, when I was looking into the cast, because I actually did my facts before I watched the film, as in, like, I listed the names of the people involved.
Yeah.
I was shocked at how well the cast was. They had a really good cast. And then when I looked into all, like, the side characters, and when I was seeing that they were all comedians, American comedians who were, critically acclaimed in their own right for, various things, but mainly, shows that were on American TV. It's such a shame that they're all cast in such a terrible film.
Yeah.
And see, Maggie's character, I really didn't like her.
No, I didn't. If you can't have it, there isn't someone to follow. The nearest
No,
identifiable figure is probably Book, who you're told you don't like.
I know.
Like, there's no reason, you're just told that you don't like him, and yet he
Yeah.
seems the only one that's down to earth. He's the one that's bullied. He's the one that goes out on his own to kind of
Mm-hmm.
defeat the bad guy. He's the one that's been replaced, and he's the one that actually helps the cows towards the end.
Yeah.
So what was your score?
1.
1.
Yeah.
I gave this a 2.
What?
Yes, and the reason why I give it a 2 is because if I was to tell you to think of this as a film that was made for the Disney Channel and you sat and watched it on the Disney Channel, would you give it a 1?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen brilliant TV movies and TV animated movies, and, like,
See,
better than this. Snow White live action is better than this.
well, it's not. But I think that if everything about this had gone into a Disney Channel film and was put on the Disney Channel and was just aired one summer or whatnot, I reckon this would have not a fan base, but I reckon people would be a bit nicer to it because actually the cast is good. There is nothing wrong with the songs. They're not amazing, but there's nothing wrong with them.
No.
Yes, the animation is very 2D,
Yeah.
but then when you look at other TV programs from America at the time, and you got like even Phineas and Ferb, which is a bit after this, it suits that kind of animation.
Mm.
They're not brilliantly animated, so it
But the
fits that
animation
kind
in
of
a
made
Goofy
for
movie is
TV.
better than this.
Oh yeah, yeah. This shouldn't have been a film released at the cinema. This
No.
should have been straight to Disney, and I think if it was, I think people might like it a little bit more because there's a different expectation.
You're being a lot more generous with this film than Fantasia 2000.
My thing is, though, I could criticize all of it, and I mean, I could criticize all of it. None of it was absolutely awful to the point where I can't watch this. Whereas, I enjoyed the cast,
Mm.
songs were fine, it was funny in places, wasn't the best humor. It just wasn't scraping the bottom of the barrel bad, but it wasn't
Mm.
good either.
Oh, see, I think they should be embarrassed by this one more so than any other film in this decade. Now, we've not gone through them all. Like, just
The
in terms,
Wild.
well, no, because The Wild, I feel like that was an experiment. They were really trying, although we've not gotten to The Wild yet.
Yeah.
From what I remember, they're clearly, like, trying to compete with that one, but they just do it terribly. Whereas the Home on the Range, they're using all of the same tools that they've been using since the company started.
Oh yeah,
And
it
yet
failed.
they
It just
did a terrible job. Yeah, they've like, there's no magic in it. There's no, like, I just can't believe that it's a Disney film.
that's why I think if it was a Disney Channel film, I think it would be better received. I don't think it'd be anyone's favorite, but
I don't think people remember it.
no. Should it be remade?
No, because the
Yeah,
story's not good.
I put a no with an exclamation
Yeah.
over at the end.
But I do think we could get another cowboy. Like, I feel like that whole Wild West idea, I think people would watch that now. I know obviously you haven't seen it, but Paramount's got the success with that Yellowstone program and all their
Yeah.
spin-offs. Country music is popular at the minute. So I feel like
It is due a renaissance.
yes.
It's due a comeback.
Yeah, and I think they could definitely go down this theme, but fingers crossed to do it better.
Yeah.
And even Wild Wild West, the Will Smith movie, was better than this.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Oh, okay. That's one of those films where when you rewatch it now, you think, did I like this film?
And on that positive note,
Yes.
we have come to the end of this week's podcast. We've decided, weirdly, that I've given a more favourable opinion of a Disney film than you have.
I know.
So I don't know what's up with the universe, but hopefully it'll be
Jungle Book all over again.
in time. So everyone who's listening, don't forget you can follow us on Threads, Facebook, and Blue Sky. You can head over to YouTube. You can email us, the Jamie and Stephen Show at outlook.com. We want to see your product. Do you have home on the range products? Anything? Because I don't even know if they did a pin.
No. And we want to see those pictures with that Pearl character in
Yes.
the park.
Yes. I will leave you now with this one little fact.
Okay.
That leads us into next week's film.
Okay.
At no point during the making of Home on the Range was Patrick Stewart considered for a role. Find out why next week on the Jamie and Steve Show.
Bye.
Bye.